Aphelios or Ezreal.
I think DAMWON might ban Ezreal. I don't know if they have faith in Ghost winning Ezreal versus anything.
I'm not well, I'm not totally sure what they're thinking should be their game plan here. Ooh. As they ban away the Callista. And now it's going to be potentially a pick your poison, unless Gen.G ban either Ezreal or Aphelios, in which case we could see the opposite come out.
DWG showed last time they were more scared of Ezreal than Aphelios, and both will be left available here with no Callista available. There still is Senna.
Oh no.
Here we go.
Well, oh wow. I can't believe we're about to. Yeah, this matchup is very interesting. People might not have seen it a lot. There's an interesting dynamic that goes on here. Now, this is one of the rarer matchups that we have in competitive right now.
True.
Ezreal versus Aphelios.
You know who's great into it? Melee champions.
Yes. Melee champs into Aphelios is definitely what you want to go for, so that when he has his crescendum, he's just able to kill you all at once.
Oh, great.
So it really makes for an excellent showing.
I wrote down Brad on my sheet because we're hoping for BeryL to have a Brad the Chad performance here. He is going to be crucial for trying to shut him down in the laning stage.
So I think a lot of people could be asking here, why not Yuumi with the Ezreal, since it's so bread and butter? And what I'm imagining is maybe they're going to actually try to set up Aphelios for a death, the way that we saw DragonX actually do, with the Brad and Ziggs combo that can come out. ShowMaker on his Syndra. BDD.
Zoe.
Yeah, BDD locking in the Zoe. And Gen.G with the Lee Sin. That is one of the cursed picks here in LCK. As is Ezreal right now. So
yeah.
If we're just being honest.
Ezreal doesn't have a very high win rate here. It's like 5 and 14 or something like that. I do have it right here. Let me check.
Well, Jace is taken away so that DAMWON won't have access to that.
5 and 13.
Okay, 5 and 13. Pretty. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, just 8 more wins and 50%.
He's almost there.
Yeah.
It's a long season.
And Nautilus is now taken off the table. Gen.G have to decide what their last champion ban is going to be. Now, they have counter pick available to them, so it's not the end of the world. What we're probably going to end up seeing out of Gen.G on the support role could just be Lulu. So that would probably be fine.
Yeah, Yuumi's still available if they wanted to consider it. Warren gets taken off the board. Lots of beefy boys there. Banned away. Zilean. Bring him back.
There he is.
I'm talking about Aphelios.
Yeah.
Back from the dead if they ever get on top.
Yeah.
No problem. Make him really fast, too.
Yeah.
That sounds
really
like
good.
fun. He needs a lot of help. He's pretty weak in the meta right now. It's part of the reason why we don't see him very often.
Well, let's get some melee champions in here so that we can run into Aphelios. Rek'Sai, perfect.
Ooh,
and Kennen. All right, excellent. 2 champions that are going to try to run headfirst into him. And when he's being protected by Zilean, and when Zoe and Zilean are trying to just throw out lots of poke, it comes down to a war between the Ezreal and the Syndra. So that's still going to be the primary focus. Now, Bard can set up Aphelios for Slicing Maelstrom. That is definitely a combo. And I really like this Neeko pick here. This is super underappreciated. her ultimate ability against Kennen, very, very valuable.
It's not too often we hear LS talking about a great draft pick. So, interesting to see that it does come out here into the Kennen. We haven't seen this matchup in a while. I remember back in the day when people were calling Neeko better Kennen.
Yeah.
It's been a while since that time, but we are going to get another look at this matchup.
Oh, and here's the other scary thing. 2 Aphelioses.
True.
That
How do you know which one to attack?
400 years, you know, between them. So
That's too
not
many
really,
years.
yeah, not really quite sure what's going on there. So
December 11th, 1619.
1819.
No, 400 years. Get it? Because it's, yeah. Duh.
Is that a boomer joke or what? Well, Ezreal, Bard, Syndra, Rek'Sai, and Kennen on the side of DAMWON. And they have a lot of setup to try to get through Aphelios in the later stages, but at the same time, they did draft 2 champions that run headfirst into him. So a little bit scary there. Gen.G taking a very controlled approach to this draft. And Clid, it's going to be hard for him to actually find reliable kick targets. And so that is where one of the weaknesses could actually be if this game goes 2, 3, and 4 items with both teams being on even footing, is Lee Sin is mostly a sitting duck. The other thing is that Neeko and Zoe, they're dealing so much magic damage. Zilean as well dealing so much magic damage. Are we going to see the Curse of the Black Cleaver strike again?
Yeah, I don't think there's any...
Because everyone on the side of DAMWON is actually just so squishy. If you go lethality on Lee Sin here. So, gunning for the RQQ or the QRQ combo to just instantly pop someone is probably in Clid's best interest.
You just know he's building a Black Cleaver. It's coming.
It's
coming.
Not say that.
You didn't say it, but you can feel it.
My ears are actually, they're ringing right now.
Yeah?
From Guy in chat.
You can hear him
Yeah.
from across the internet.
He needs the extra. He needs the extra 10% CDR that Black Cleaver offers.
Oh, that's
you
true.
know, he needs the 400 HP to do his combo and then run for the hills.
Yes.
So
he needs to survive the poke damage, I think it is, before the combo comes in. That's what I think.
Glad you understand.
Good to see Astro Bard here. That looks like a Chroma. By the way, I don't believe that is the normal Bard skin, or Chroma, I suppose, for that skin.
Well, it is the best skin for Bard. Unfortunately, you know, honestly though, the hot cocos from the Snow Day Bard, that takes the cake and it eats it too. And then it makes another one.
And then drinks the cocoa.
And then, yeah, that's what it does.
And eats the marshmallow on top of it.
You were making me hungry. Stop.
I'm really hungry. They were giving out Faker ice creams earlier.
Oh yeah, here at LOL Park.
Yeah, you guys know that Faker and World Cone were working together. And Faker got his face on a bunch of those cones. 3 different flavors. I really wanted to try the apple crumble flavor. I'm a big fan of like apple pie. You know, true American over. But yeah, I'm sure it's delicious. I wanted to try it.
And
We'll have to see.
So okay, at the very start of this game, looks like Kennen is going to try to make his way up here to top lane, clear out a ward. Nuguri is going to try to go for a shove in here onto Rascal. And you can see both junglers haven't really interacted with one another yet all too much as Clid comes over here. He's at full HP, still has both of his refillable potions remaining. He's kiting the camp. He's going to end up getting the Raptors, and now everyone knows what Canyon's route is. They can just hit tab, count the CS, everything's fine. Ghost and BeryL not really achieving a whole lot down here in bottom lane, as the UFO candies have been summoned by BeryL. And the dynamic of this lane is that, interestingly enough, Bard and Ezreal actually get to maintain a lot of control in it, which is not super common. Infernal Dragon being the first one of the game, with the way that everything is, it should go over to DAMWON, just because of the bot and mid prio.
Nuguri gets the stun down, but I think he's dead.
Yeah.
There you go, solo kill. Clid just there cheering him on. And that is just a straight up solo. We'll have to see how that happens. As Nuguri, he has been known to die very often in the early stages of the game.
And the scary thing here is also he's going AD Kennen, and he picks up a call. And I mean, I don't even know what he's really thinking at this point, because Neeko just out-trades Kennen so hard. So if you're ever at a point where you can auto-attack and Neeko's there, you're just going to have a really bad time. And ShowMaker, I mean, he was doing a really okay job in mid. And you can see he's trying to run back in.
이 라인 불편해야 한다. 탑 쏠킬각 나온다.
I got the solo kill.
딴 데도 웬만하면?
That's it.
And
Kind of
that
felt like an anime fill-in with that laugh.
that was one of the weirdest solo kills that I've seen in the LCK. As Hextech Revolver was completed for Neeko. And now anytime Rascal just lands one of the barbs onto Nuguri, he's going to lose 70% of his life. So, very scary situation.
Yeah, it can definitely be pretty rough. I mean, we've seen what the... Okay, he's just going for it, level 6 here, trying to push him out of the lane, but Rascal with TP left available, no jungler up top side. He's going to be totally fine to continue farming. That trade isn't going to mean too much here.
Yep. Rascal doing a pretty good job at never mind, I jinxed it.
You got to do this, though.
Yeah, you know, sometimes I don't really think about, you know, what's going on there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, across the board, I mean, ShowMaker is putting on a bit of a clinic here in mid lane. The Syndra and Zoe dynamic. It's always good to see it piloted correctly. Went for the heavy mana end, just relying really on Syndra's base damages in order to carry through some of the control. Darkseal and Sapphire Crystal. Rascal playing super reserved.
It's non-stop pressure from that side. Kennen, he was looking for it. He's coming on in here now. Gonna see his tunnel was down, and it's really up to Clid. But a bunch of pings are going down, so you can see that Clid is coming the long way around, which means that Kennen is going to be able to take this red.
Oh.
Pretty close.
Yeah, and Canyon just gets to steal it right under his nose. And this is the part of the game where it just feels really bad. You don't have any lanes that you can gank. You can't gank Bard Ezreal, you're trolling, you're out of your mind. You can't actually gank Syndra. If her E is ever up, you can never coordinate that play, and also your Zoe is probably not in a position to help you miss Kennen. Better luck next time. And the other thing is that you can't really gank Kennen if he has his Lightning Rush up. So it is such an impossible ask, and when your mid laner is getting shoved in, like I mean, not really much to say about it, and also your bottom lane is losing in prio, how do you even contest the dragons or try to get them? This is just a very unfortunate game to be Lee Sin if your opponents are competent.
Yeah. It was second pick, so he showed the Lee Sin, and then immediately... Not sure if DWG did it on purpose or what, but he made his life very difficult in a lot of the lanes, as you were talking about, in terms of their own picks, which can be a little bit uncommon in the LCK. And they also picked the Rek'Sai into him, which, you know, in a vacuum is not a great matchup for the Lee Sin. As Ruler just gonna casually take a couple of those. Okay, that was a little bit weird, but he's got Unsealed Spellbook. And Clid is actually just going to move on over and take this Infernal with a bit of the pressure they were putting onto the bottom turret.
Well, ends up getting it, and that is a massive pickup for Gen.G. That realistically it should never happen with what has been happening mid lane, what's been happening bot lane. Canyon, even though he has a CS lead, the areas and the manner in which he's obtaining it and what he's doing isn't as valuable as it could be when you consider that a Lee Sin who has losing mid, losing bot just was able to get the Infernal underneath your nose. And so if you're a Gen.G fan, you're feeling really good because come second Dragon, Aphelios and Zilean should be sort of online. And the pressure that Syndra's exerting over Zoe should also start to dissipate by then. So things are going pretty well for them. The only thing that is still maybe unfortunate in this game is if Cloud comes up third.
We saw that before. Generally not a great feeling for many of the teams, even though Gen.G was still able to win with it. It's about the comparison between the jigs. And yeah, I mean, just still kind of sitting back here. Neither of the junglers has really made a move at ganking. We talked about how it's hard for Lee Sin. But Kennen here, level 7, up a level in the jungle matchup, looking for it himself. Nice stun there onto the Aphelios, but Light is going to take an amazing amount of damage. Has to walk away from that one, give up the control ward.
And, well, Rascal trying to just do a little bit of... Oh,
the Q's
man.
onto him. He's going to flash away, and he's got Nimbus Cloak, but in goes the Lee Sin.
Oh.
They're trying to kill him, and finally they will. But Kennen at least was there last second to pick that one up. And now the flash that was picked up by BDD comes in. Life going to use that TP from his unsealed spellbook to come on up and help.
Uses the TP. And at this point, Gen.G, I mean, they're starting to stabilize pretty much. BeryL gonna take a magical journey. He's just messing around with his good old pal Zilean. They've been friends for a while.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they really go way back.
How old is Zilean? Do you know?
Yeah, not really sure about that.
Okay, well, Nuguri's not going to be living for too much longer, so speaking of age, Kennen going in here looking for a 1v2, might be able to get it with the ultimate, and that he will. Gets away for now. Let's see how Rascal wants to handle this. There's a ward there, actually.
Oh, but Syndra's coming.
Syndra over the wall. Could they potentially bait it? No. Rascal will back away. And so that makes Canyon 2-0, actually, kind of picking up the pieces from some of these fights.
Yeah. And we'll see what he ends up doing.
Oh, they saw him.
Now, Valdez, I'm getting a little bit confused here. Oh no.
Oh, what? He still might go down. But the fact that he went that far over the wall means that BDD's in a little bit of trouble, but the exhaust is big. Now they're going to set it up for the clean kill here on the BDD, but it does mean that Life can just ult him. But in comes Nuguri. Zoe still alive for so long in this one, but finally goes down. As Rascal going to show himself at the last second, gets the big-time root. Do they have the damage, though? No, Rascal's going to be the one that falls. As Nuguri getting so much value in these extended fights alongside of the Syndra.
Yeah, and we come down here into bot lane, and Caitlyn really just...
I think that's Varus, actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh, are you sure it's not Ashe?
Well, maybe it's all of them. Maybe we figured it out.
All right, well. I mean, we'll take a look at the replay here. And so, double tunnel going in. BDD following, doesn't use the Proto Belt right away, and thus actually took an enormous amount of damage. So, Zilean ultimate comes out, has the cleanse available. Clid pops BeryL, and then says, well, no magical journey here. Had he taken it, actually, Kennen wouldn't get the slicing Maelstrom stun onto him, would have made it out, had a lot of HP, would have been able to re-enter the fight. This is actually where Clid is also sort of trolling in a way, because he's messing with red buff. He could have queued onto ShowMaker and killed ShowMaker for sure.
Yeah. It was like there was a communication breakdown or something. Like he thought they were gonna back away.
Yeah, it looked like he,
you know.
Well, I think he didn't expect DAMWON to keep pressing on, but then also for the follow-up to unfold the way that it did. So at that point, yes, his HP value is very low, but still, while Syndra's stunned, you can make it onto her and definitely do something. So ShowMaker really showing up there at that point. DAMWON now, they get the Ocean Dragon for themselves. Now, here's what I was mentioning before. We saw this actually in the LCS recently. I believe it was the TSM game, where when you're surrounded with 4 magical damage teammates, you're building a Black Cleaver. So Rek'Sai right now headed towards that item, rather than just getting Edge of Night. Edge of Night's so valuable against so many of the spells that Gen.G has, and it's the lethality, so it makes your combo to 100 to 0, all the squishies on the enemy team, that much more valuable. And then you just go into Umbral Glaive and you control more vision.
Yeah. Well, that all sounds nice, but the recommended items told me to build Black Cleaver, so
Alright.
that's what they're going to be building
Oh!
here. Nuguri may have baited them in and actually gets Clid immediately. Now he's going to slow down BDD into a really awkward spot, but no damage follow-up here onto him. They're focusing down the Rascal here. Down he will go. It's a little bit confusing, but there he is. The ultimate comes out and says, get the hell out of here, BDD. This is our zone now.
And Syndra is just so scary right now. 5 stacks on the Darksteel. I wouldn't even actually mind just an outright Magi's pickup at this stage of the game by ShowMaker whenever he would recall next. And Aphelios, I mean, he still has the ability to 200 years, but fortunately Ezreal and Syndra and Bard are in the game. 3 champions that can really keep him at bay and interact with him without letting him try to do the 200 years. So Caitlyn right now, just gonna shove out mid lane. True shot barrage.
No, actually, I think that was Varus.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It just looked like it.
All right, well, I'll believe you. It had he had the white gun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Must
so
have
that's
been
Cosmo.
Ash then.
No, you're forgetting. Yeah.
Sorry, wrong AD carry. I'm new.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Clid kind of just went in there and died. It was a little bit awkward. We're seeing the power of Lee Sin in the LCK. Generally, unless you're isolating one member and getting a great kick flash, you're probably not doing much in a 5v5.
Yeah, and I mean, the predicament that both parties are going to find themselves in is, one, Zoe is going to eventually start throwing out bubbles. Things can get a little scary there. But for Gen.G, Syndra's reach is so long and Aphelios can't interact with it. So the QE out of Syndra is going to be very scary. Nice itemization out of Nuguri. Void Staff second. Opponents were getting magic resist pretty much everywhere. They're never going to get armor. And so, interestingly enough, I'm just going to wait for some of the champions to get panned to on the side of Gen.G.
Yeah.
For their stats.
Try to take a look at that if we can. Shirley comes down, does a big chunk. Where do we go from here? The dragons were split evenly, but it is going to be mountain, so should be a decent amount of resistances on both sides that can be taken advantage of.
The thing is that if Gen.G could somehow get those mountain drakes, it invalidates Kennen and Rek'Sai a great deal on their hard engage. It also really harms Ezreal from being able to do stuff. And we just see Rascal just trying to wave clear down here. Find something to do. DAMWON, they are up a couple thousand gold right now. Ezreal really trying hard.
Oh, they're going for this. Flash is in. Rascal, good read, flashes out. And that's about that for that trade. Clid kind of awkwardly coming on over here. We got 30 seconds before this Drake that's going to be the main focus, as I feel like every Drake, every single mountain, and not just the Mountain Soul, is really going to help out, especially Gen.G because of their item selection so far. And BDD, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at him.
He's freezing right now, it seems.
It's... wow.
Did he just push it?
You know, BDD... oh, did he really just push it? Oh. He only denied like
He
one
almost
wave.
did.
He denied like...
yeah, I can't...
three
actually,
melee
yeah,
minutes.
I genuinely can't tell.
He's getting close though, right? He was the player last
Yeah.
game that built Leandri's instead of going straight into Ludens.
True.
Remember?
True,
So there's
maybe
that.
you know, Arnold is... I don't know.
Arnold's listening and it's like, hey, that LS guy may be onto something.
All right, so here's some of the interesting things here that we can talk about in regards to Rek'Sai, because sometimes this never gets put into perspective. So at full stacks on Black Cleaver, Rek'Sai's getting 15 pen against Neeko, 13.2 against Zoe, and 16.3 against Lee Sin. And that's at full stacks. That's the penetration. So most of the lethality items from the first time Rek'Sai would hit the champion is already giving more. So if we're talking about 100 to zeroing the opponent, now don't tell me about 10% CDR. No, you don't get to cast the extra abilities.
They have 10% CDR on the.
But also, Rek'Sai's HP is irrelevant in that burst combo, in and of itself. So it's just one of those itemization things that is done on autopilot without really thinking about all the situation. Now, obviously, we could give the armor values of Aphelios and Zilean as well, but it's still going to be in the same ballpark. So no one's really benefiting from the amp. And Rek'Sai's only job in this fight is to tag someone and just burst them down instantaneously, because they're all squishies.
Yeah.
And no one's going to itemize armor.
No one's itemizing armor. The Ezreal is really the only other person that does like a little bit that you could be stacking it up for. He also has magic damage, which we've talked about a lot. So in terms of stacking it up for your team, that argument is also a little bit, well, mostly not there. And yeah, we have it for Rek'Sai, we have it for Lee Sin. That's the way it's been going for since Black Cleaver was an item, I guess. Since people realized that you could build this item.
And we got 3 minutes until another mountain comes up. And DAMWON are just in pretty good control of the game overall. Looks like Banshee's Veil going to be the Kennen build that's going to be coming up next. And that'll help, obviously, against Zilean and Zoe. Neeko as well. And Gen.G, I mean, they're going to have to stand their ground and fight for it. And interestingly, I mean, even just that one Mountain Dragon is so valuable for Ezreal.
Yeah.
Iceborne plus Death Stance, Syndra with the Banshee's Veil helps out quite a lot, as MR is normally not a stat that you get to amplify that much in a game, nor do you really reap the rewards of doing so as much as in a game dynamic like this one, where both team compositions are interestingly very mirrored, with DAMWON having the leg up, given that Ezreal gets to outrange some of the opponents, but in the same way, Aphelios also gets to interact against the hard engage from DAMWON very well. So, kind of ditto team compositions.
Doesn't happen very often. Ghost in a really awkward spot, might just get burst down. He tries to get over the wall, as actually the Bard ultimate might save him here. Nope. Spoke too soon. At least they might get Clid. No, actually he's going to stay alive as well with the Zilean. And that's just a couple of quick kills already before this fight even gets started as Clid. Okay, Nuguri trying to get in there. That is a massive ultimate as Rascal tries to help out on the backside. But here's ShowMaker with full health, by the way. Finally has the ability to get on in there as Clid is just going to assassinate him, but will pay for it. ShowMaker, though, had to flash for that kill. It's now 2-on-3. This fight all over the place. ShowMaker still chasing him down. There's the stun. And now BeryL might be in a bit of trouble. Doing a nice amount of damage himself. Actually gets another stun down as TPing in. This is actually Ghost, who once those kills misses the Q and misses the ult. That is not what you're looking for from your Ezreal, as the GLP was also crucial to slow him down and keep him at bay, as a crazy fight was there.
Very explosive team fight all around, which, I mean, it was very neck and neck. And let's take a look at this. So Ghost just dancing around. Clid finds the opening in onto him. Canyon saves him from the second activation of the Q. It didn't matter, he was going to go down anyway, but it does cause Clid to go into the pit and get Zilean ulted. And honestly, Baron, I mean, remember what Cloud Templar said in that skit? That's why you don't touch others' Barons. Okay, Nuguri comes in, 4-man slicing Maelstrom stun. Neeko tries to say anything you can do, I can do better, but really not really. That was a dud. That was a counterfeit, if I've ever seen one. As Clid finally finds the way in onto Nuguri, ShowMaker flashes the wall, uses the ultimate, brings him down, and BeryL, it was a full-on retreat here with Bard. Exhaust ended up having to be used, and here we go, Aphelios.
Oh, look at the Lee Sin. Again, Clid is going to lock the two of them down, but it's not quite there. That's a big Bard ultimate, as Syndra's going to get a triple stun.
Oh, Nuguri!
Nuguri trying to get in there. He has slicing Maelstrom. There it is again! He has pulled it off with another huge flank in the backside, as he is trying to bring it to a game number 3. As with another Mountain Drake, they're going to get so much, but actually, looks like they have their eyes set on the Baron instead.
So they're gonna go over to the Baron, and they are up the one Mountain Dragon. They're gonna try to look to capitalize on this one, and they're already so far ahead in the gold department as well.
This is a little bit dangerous, too. Yeah, they could have easily gotten Mountain for free.
Yeah, this is...
Now they're trying to get BDD, though. He is going to be taken out. Okay. They still have at least 2 somehow, but they got to get Clid out of here, as a nice Scat of the Week will come in. As Clid is going to go down, the Rek'Sai follows up there. Rascal desperate to try to get a kill. But actually, Canyon is on the chase now. He's going to flash in and pick up a double so casually, as 3 more kills on top of the Baron. Not bad.
Yeah, and I really think that's all that she wrote here in this game. It's a 7,000 gold advantage now. If we take a look at how this team fight transpires, Lee Sin tries to start things off, but Ghost able to get back out. Look at Nuguri on the right-hand side, and they have been corralled into this another 4-man slicing Maelstrom by Kennen. And it's just so hard, and you know, you ask yourself the question to Aphelios, how many years, and in this spot, not enough out of the Zilean resurrection. As we look in live, DAMWON about to get yet another dragon.
Yeah, pretty straightforward from here. Turns out Syndra Bard is actually pretty good at zoning away the Lee Sin. And Rascal's greeting for just the 1 kill. I mean, that's not going to help your predicaments right now. And now another Mountain Drake to stack on top of the one they already had. We take a look at Rek'Sai, 165 armor. Didn't see his MR. That's a lot more important. But still, very tanky. The stats are coming in for all of the members of DAMWON Gaming.
Yeah. Things are looking very rough. And you can even see the resistances coming out on all of DAMWON's champions. Syndra also at 10 Darksteel stacks. A little disappointed we don't see the Soul Stealer here. But I really don't see a way back into this. The only way I can envision Gen.G somehow winning is quite literally on the back of 200 years. It's the one out. And interestingly enough, I talked about this, I believe, on the cast with Atlas. That's what's one of the things that is still exciting about Aphelios, is that, well, yes, DAMWON have complete control over this game, and it's really on them to throw it away. Aphelios still keeps it somewhat interesting in the chance that he can do the miracle.
Yeah, as, well, Kennen might just die here. He's going to go for a last-ditch ultimate effort. But meanwhile, you're sending 3 members to kill 1, as they actually will stop the inhibitor from going down, at least for now.
And the really hard thing is, how does Aphelios play this game? Syndra outranging him so far, has Scatter the Weak. Zoe can't really do anything right now because the bubbles, it's just too hard. Ezreal, Bard outranging him too. And if you do try to find a miracle approach, Bard can basically say, hold on a minute, I'm going to let you finish.
Yeah, the range is a huge problem. Ruler immediately loses half his health. Yes, he can lifesteal, but he can't just join the fight, or else he's going to take a huge ultimate to the face from the Syndra, and not only from her. So just like that, Aphelios is neutralized, and they pick up the inhibitor, back away, 2 minutes away from this Mountain Soul. The DAMWON are in, they have a really tight grip on this one from here after a couple of huge Nuguri plays.
Yeah, and we just take a look. Clid gets onto Canyon. They end up bringing him down. They run up into top, but damage, you know, honestly, I mean, that top inhibitor going down is probably beneficial for Gen.G. Top inhibitor's a weird one. It's always in close proximity to the Baron, so you're always farming it. You're always looking to try to make use of that. So it helps just funnel EXP and gold into you. Oh
boy.
No.
He's going to get stunned up, and at least he's got cleanse. Otherwise, he was dead meat. That's another fun part about the Bard into the Aphelios. You can force cleanse, you can lock him down. He's definitely a great support into that champion, as DAMWON has absolutely prepared drafts for against Aphelios, it is clear. The push without Baron is not going to be as impressive. Trying to put pressure on bottom side while the top lane is being pushed, so that they can be in good position here for this Mountain Drake.
Yep.
And the Soul Sealer did get purchased.
Yeah, finally. It's just a really, really good item. Gives you so much value. The movement speed too. Nice stat for its cost. Mountain Soul up in 30 seconds. Rek'Sai does get tagged. Not really sure, you know, how Rek'Sai manages to dig those tunnels while falling asleep. Honestly, that's very scary. I would never want to sleep next to Rek'Sai.
Yeah. Well,
Probably a little.
to each their own.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rek'Sai is... It definitely was a pick that we discussed a bit, talking about into Aphelios, but just in general, I feel like the pick potential plus the ability to get away from Zoe and some CC is not so bad. Why are they just letting them take the mountain? Well, what is the idea here? Mountain Soul in trade for getting a Baron? I mean, they're going to take it down and immediately they can challenge here.
I'm at a little bit of a loss for words, and okay, hold on, Caitlyn.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and snipe that guy. Just gonna quickly swap over to Tristana here.
Yeah. Trying to do something. It's all on ShowMaker to keep them all at bay.
Yeah.
And you can see it's just, it's very hard for Ruler to approach.
And there it is. It goes to the Zoe. But down will go that Zoe. Nuguri with another great ultimate, and the entire team is, in fact, going to be wiped. They get the objective, but they will not take the game, as Life is just going to run away forever. Probably going to live with how much speed he has, but we will see the recall, but he's up against a massive push here in the top side. Not much that he can do. He'd have to try to take out the super minion, which he cannot. The game is okay. He's going on a little journey here.
Zilean.
He's gonna die. Oh, minions didn't save him there. GG as BeryL